Hi, everybody. Thanks for waiting. I'm Judy the YouTube Lawyer. Today's show is going to be part 2 of covering Charlie Adelson's deposition. This is in his civil lawsuit, which he filed back in 2020 against Berkshire Life Insurance Company because they denied him his disability insurance benefits. So thank you guys all for being out there. Hope you all had a great holiday, Hanukkah, Christmas. Let me make sure my cell phone is turned off. Sorry about that. This is what happens when I try to record in a different place. It took me quite a while to set up everything and make sure the lighting was good and stuff. So let's go ahead and add to the stream. This is the deposition transcript from the federal lawsuit, which is filed down in the federal court in Miami. So if you guys saw my previous live stream show from a few months ago, Judge Rodney Smith denied the motion for partial summary judgment. So the case is going to go forward. And there's no real trial date set yet because, as you guys know, there is a criminal case going on against Dr. Adelson due to the murder of Dan Markel, his former brother-in-law. So there's supposed to be some sort of like a case status hearing coming up, I think in maybe around June, after his criminal case is supposed to be over, although I bet that's going to drag out. And then the civil case might be ready for trial sometime in July next year. So let's take a look over here. This deposition was taken December of 2021, and the attorney for the insurance company was doing most of the questioning with some comments from Charlie's attorney in the case. So in part 1, we covered first half of the deposition, which is where he was asked a lot about how his so-called medical problems developed. His back pain allegedly started when he was in a taxi cab in the Philippines in January of 2016. And then they asked him a lot about what kind of travels he had in all those years since and what kind of medical treatment he had. So they're asking him about his pharmacy bills. And it says that he did get a prescription for something called alprazolam in 2016, written by Dr. Niemand, a family doctor. And I'm just going to hit some of the highlights here. Says that he had a prescription due to anxiety. Says that he was given a very small dose and it lasted a long time. That's what Charlie said. And he says here he found himself anxious a lot of times for really no reason. Just found myself very anxious. So I spoke to him and he thought that taking a small dose of an anxiety medicine could help. Take it as needed. The script lasted me, I think, a long time because I don't think I took it that often. Question, were you anxious because you were concerned that you might be arrested? Hasselbrock, objection. Instruct the witness not to answer. Witness, my attorneys advised me not to answer your question. Okay, so they're talking about the anxiety that he had, and he refuses to answer a bunch of questions about anything possibly related to the criminal case of the murder of Dan Markel. So let's see. Not sure if people really want me to scan through or scroll through the whole entire thing. Says he had another dentist friend, Dr. Pike, prescribe him medication for anxiety in September 2017. He says he was grinding a lot at the time, grinding a lot from TMJ, and it would make it so I didn't grind as much in my sleep when I took it, so that's why I was prescribed it. Question, so it sounds like your need for the medication was different in 2017 than it was in 2016? Answer, yeah. I mean, he suggested I did. I only got one script from him for my I believe, in my whole life. So I don't know if I didn't continue with that from him. I don't even know if I took all of them or if I took it. Okay. So 2018, Dr. Niemand prescribed him alprazolam again. April of 2018, he said, well, I was probably getting a little anxious during the day, and anxiety medicine can help with being anxious. And I don't even think I took it during the day. I think I ended up taking it at night. Okay, so again, he wouldn't answer any questions if the anxiety could have been caused by what was going on with a murder investigation. Okay, so let me see. I did take some notes here, so I'm just going to hop ahead to some of the pages that I noted that were a little bit more interesting, because a lot of this has to do with testing Charlie Adelson's credibility. Clearly, the insurance company did not believe him when he tried to apply for disability insurance benefits, claiming that he had such a horrible back injury that he incurred a big loss in income over the years due to his back problems. So due to the line of questioning, it's obvious that they think that the loss in income was really due to him not wanting to work or being turned away from jobs after there was more publicity about Dan Markel's murder. Okay, so page 232. Let's see. Okay, Hetherington. That is the attorney for the insurance company. Hetherington. I couldn't disagree more. Your witness has got a disability claim, and what was happening to him in the year in which he claimed it, how it affected him, what led him to make the claim, as well as how it affected, the amount he worked, are all relevant to our defense, and they're relevant areas of inquiry. If you're going to choose him not to instruct him not to answer, that's fine. But I'm going to ask this line of questions, and if you want to instruct him, then do that. But I'm not going to reach an agreement with you on any narrowly tailored set of questions. I'm going to ask the questions that I think are necessary for my client's defense in this case. So you choose. Let's just not waste a lot of time on it. If you're going to instruct him, and we'll move on. We'll take it up with the court. Okay, so clearly the insurance company's attorney is getting irked and annoyed because for a lot of the questions, Charlie refused to answer, and his attorney was backing him up and objecting and telling him not to answer these questions. So, for example, Hetherington was asking, how has your life changed since your brother-in-law was murdered? Objection. I'll instruct the witness not to answer other than as to effect on any employment-related issues. Okay, so here Charlie finally says something that is a little bit more informative. He says, I had Dr. Kuhl's office. I had Dr. Kuhl say that he wants to suspend our working relationship for the time being until the matter is sorted out. And then I had Dr. Kaufman get harassed by a reporter, and that's how it's affected me. Hetherington. Those are the two you're aware of? Hasselbrock. Objective form. Witness. Yes. Hetherington. Okay. Now, is it possible, Dr. Adelson, that somebody chose to stop working with you and didn't tell you why? Answer. It's always possible. Question. Can you describe for us what it was like to have your name mentioned in news articles and on television regarding the murder of your ex-brother-in-law? Hasselbrock. Again, I'm objecting. I think you can answer that question to the extent that it's related to the effect of publicity on your employment. Witness. I'm not going to answer that question. Repeat it again. Okay, so this kind of goes on for a while. I'll just go ahead and skip over a little bit of that and just scroll through in case people want to take a look at it more carefully after this live stream is over. They ask him about the podcast that's been downloaded more than 2 million times in regards to Markel's murder, asking him about publicity, negative publicity with the dental practices. Okay, so this is where Charlie actually did a little bit of answering here. Okay, question. Did you discuss the negative publicity with any of the dental practices that you worked with? Hasselbrock, objective form, but you can answer. Witness, yes. Hetherington, any besides Dr. Kuhl and Dr. Kaufman? No. Question, did you have any other dentist ask you questions about the publicity or the murder? No. Question, nobody said, hey, Charlie, is it true? Did you do it? Answer, no. Question, did you discuss the negative publicity and how it was affecting your life with your father? Answer, not that I can remember. Question, did you discuss the negative publicity and how it was affecting your life with your mother? Hasselbrock, same objection. As far as how it affects your employment, you can answer. Witness, yeah, under the advice of counsel, I'm not going to answer your question. Okay, so on and on and on. What's the next page that I thought was worthy of bringing up? Oh, okay. So there's a question about selling the practice to his father. Okay, so Hetherington, line 15. Did the publicity surrounding the Dan Markel murder have anything to do with you selling the Adelson Institute back to your dad in 2015? Answer, under advice of my counsel, I'm not going to answer any of your questions. Question, do you recall a request for records relating to Catherine Magbanua's employment at the Adelson Institute on June 21st of 2016? Hasselbrock, same objection, and I instruct you not to answer the question. Okay. So being asked about the criminal investigation, when he got counsel, has he been questioned by the police? Have family members been questioned by the police? What services did Katie perform as an employee? He wouldn't answer any of that stuff. Okay, so let's get back down to page. Okay, question, were you depressed during 2016? Answer, no. Question, did you tell your girlfriend, Ms. Umchinda, that you were miserable? Answer, when she was yelling at me. Question, so yes. Answer, only when she yells at me. Question, did you tell Ms. Umchinda that everyone was out to get you in 2016? Answer, no. Question, is it fair to say you were angry during that time and ticked off at everything, that is, in 2016? Answer, no, it's not true. Question, did you tell anyone in 2016 that you had no friends anymore? Answer, that's not true. Question, in 2016, did you keep cash in your room in a safe stapled in bundles? Answer, under the advice of my counsel, I'm not going to answer any of your questions. Okay, so same thing, did you keep cash stapled in bundles? Okay, question, have you ever done dental work for cash? Hasselbrock, objective form, you can answer. Witness, I can answer? Hasselbrock, yeah, you can answer if you can. Witness, no. Okay, another question. Did you ever receive your payment for your services in cash? Answer, no. Question, okay. Why did you sell the Adelson Institute back to your father in 2015? Answer, it was something that was beyond my ability to manage, and he'd been managing it since the time he sold it to me. So I guess, transferred or sold it back to him. Question, okay, what did you do to try to manage it? Answer, not a whole lot. I was a very absentee owner. Question, okay, so why did you buy it in the first place? Answer, I had hopes that I was going to run it, and I just realized that my dad was selling the practice. So I said, if you're going to sell it, I think I'd like to buy it. It seemed like a good idea at the time, but then I ended up not being very hands-on, and he ended up staying on and running it, and then staying on and doing all the administration, staying on and having the same headaches he had before with the office when I was the owner. And I couldn't give it the attention that it needed. So we just said, you know what, let's just take it back. I mean, I'm not doing anything. I'm not helping you out, so. Question. But you owned it in July of 2014 when your brother-in-law was murdered, correct? Answer. I'd have to check the dates, but I think so. Yeah. Okay. Question. Okay, and you owned it when Catherine McBanua started working at the Adelson Institute, correct? Hasselbrock. Objection. Instruction not to answer. Okay, so more things that he refuses to answer here. Okay, so let's hop forward here to page 288. Thank you guys for tuning in. I think I need something else to drink. Okay, so then he's talking about why he stopped working for all these different practices, what happened with all these different dentists that he had been doing work for. Okay, so that takes a while. Okay. Okay, so this is in regards to a dentist who supposedly contacted him again, talking about wanting advice for one of her daughters about going to medical or dental school. So that dentist called up Charlie and asked if he was interested in coming in to do more work. He said, quote, and I was thinking to myself, there wasn't much work there to begin with, and my back's killing me. So the thought of picking up new offices is not what I want to do. That's what I told her. Okay, so the attorney just continues asking him about every single doctor that he had listed as working for during that time frame and what happened. Why did he stop working at each of the practices? It was also implied that perhaps there was at least one dentist who had told the insurance company that Charlie had already mentioned something about back problems back in 2015, or perhaps someone had actually seen him wearing a TENS unit or something. But of course, Charlie denied that during the deposition. Okay, so let's see, what other pages did I mark? Okay, so let's hop forward a little bit to page 340. We're going to try to get through this whole thing because originally I did do 5 different live stream shows to cover the whole entire deposition, which was very exhausting, and I'm not sure if people really listen to 100% of all that. So this will be a much shorter version. Okay. Let's see, so talking about the Adelson Institute. Okay, so the attorney is asking him, did you work between 3 to 10 days a month, depending on the month? Is that consistent with your recollection? Charlie says, that's not consistent with my recollection. Question, okay, well, what is your recollection? How often did you work at the Adelson Institute? Answer, it always varied when I came in, why I came in. I think I was there about once a month, once every 3 weeks, once every 6 weeks. It depends on what people needed. I was there on an as-needed basis, just like everybody else. Question is, and are you maintaining your testimony from the standard case in this case? That's another lawsuit that he had previously been involved in for disability benefits. Okay, so the question is that you never received any compensation for any work you did at the Adelson Institute? Answer, correct. Question, and you owned the Institute from 2012 when you bought it from your dad until you sold it back to your dad in the fall of 2015, correct? Answer, I don't know the date that I sold it back to him, but I'll assume you're right. Question, assuming that's correct, you owned it for a period of time? Answer, I had it for a couple of years, yeah. Question, and you maintained that even during that time you didn't work there very often. Is that your testimony? Answer, I mean, I worked there as often as the records state. Question, well, that's helpful. So we can look at these records and see when you were there, right? Answer, Hasselbrock, objective form. Hetherington, okay, thank you. Did you say yes? I think I heard you say yeah. Answer, well, I got to see the patients because, I mean, I'm just looking at your print. I'm going off the printout you gave me. Question. Right. That's what I'm going off of too. Do you have some more patient information you could show me to help me see if the printout I gave you is correct? Okay, so they're kind of going on and on about records and not getting enough records or comprehensive records about all the work he did. Okay, question. When was the Adelson Institute sold? Answer. It was sold in September, I believe. Question. Of this year? Answer. 21. Yeah. Question. Okay, so if we needed to get the patient's names and x-rays and all that stuff, your family had that information until September of 2021, correct? Hasselbrock. Objective form. Witness. No. Hetherington. Why is that not correct? Answer. My family didn't have your information. Question. Where is the information? Was it not at the Adelson Institute? Answer. Well, when you say my family, you're being very broad. Question. Your father's business. Answer. The office that my dad owns? Question. Yes. Answer. Okay. Question. The information would have been there at least until your dad sold it in September of 21, correct? Answer. I mean, if it wasn't blocked out, I could see it here. Question. Right. Oh, we don't have any x-rays here, though. Okay. So let's see. What else did I mark? Okay, page 351. So let's just scroll through here. 351. Okay, talking about another doctor. Okay, so this is where Charlie mentions that his dog died. Long story short, my dog died. I gotta wait for, actually, my dog died. A friend of mine killed himself a few days later, and I took some time off. And a patient who I'd seen in her office the last day I was there had a complication, and I was out of town. So she sent the patient to an oral surgeon who said that the patient had a sinus infection from where I pulled the tooth and was suffering from 2 dry sockets. Okay, so there's some sort of issue going on there with a dentist here, where there was a patient that was upset and in pain. Okay, then they talk about another dentist, another practice. Charlie says the relationship just drifted apart. Okay, when did he start working for a different dentist? Okay, so it goes on and on. Oh, okay, here. Question. And do you know if Dr. Stanton was concerned at all about the publicity surrounding your ex-brother-in-law's murder? Answer. Yeah, he made a point of telling me, actually, that we never lost a patient because of any publicity, and he loved my work. But he found a new friend, and his wife was good friends with this guy's wife. So I think I had like literally 2 implants fail, 2 or 3 implants fail in the month of 2 implants fail in the month of October of 18. And I even said to him, I said, Rob, we do like 100. We do 100 implants a year. You should have a 95% success. So you do 100 implants, 95% success, 5 implants should fail. And our failure rate was within normal accepted amounts. And he started telling me, well, we're having all these implants fail. And I said, go back through your list and see how many implants we had fail. And he's like, I'm not paying somebody to go do that. And he was just looking for a reason to bring in his new best friend. Question. Did you ever talk to Dr. Stanton about your back? Answer. Yeah. Question. You kept working there even though your back was hurting? Answer. Yeah. I mean, I still work and my back still hurts, so. Question. So he's one you told about your back? You told me earlier you didn't tell a lot of people. So he's one you told about your back? Answer. He probably knew about it just from being friends with me, being around me, more of a social, so probably complained that way. Okay. So then he's talking about another falling out with somebody with Pike. Okay, question. So the new periodontist he brought on was your buddy, Dr. Pike? Answer. Mm-hmm. Question. I heard you had a falling out with Dr. Pike. I mean, is that true? Answer, no. I went to dinner with him for my birthday. My birthday was October 27th. It was a Wednesday. So I guess that Saturday, it was the Saturday after my birthday, I actually ended up going to dinner with him and another periodontist who was in town. Question, oh, so I guess no hard feelings about his work with Dr. Stanton taking your old job? Answer, you trying to get me upset? You know what? Offices come and go, and anyone has a right to let you go for any reason. It's up to me if I want to try to replace him. Okay. Question. Okay, now I asked you at the very beginning about Dr. Berkovich, but candidly, I want to make sure I remember why you stopped working for her. You're still friendly with Dr. Berkovich and her husband, who's your business partner in some of your real estate investments, right? Answer. You say friendly. I mean, we don't really hang out. I still have a property that I own with Alex Berkovich. Question. Yeah, but so remind me why you stopped doing work at Dr. Berkovich's, his wife's office. Answer. Yeah, his wife was taking implant courses. She started to do some of her own implant work, and she was having a general dentist that was in her office working. And I was telling her, like, look, my back's killing me. Because every time I come out to an office, I got to pack everything up, drive out there, drive back, unpack it, repack it, carry everything out. So, even if I came out to the office to do a consult, it would be 3 hours of work because of the time travel and setup and everything. So with my back hurting the way it was and the fact that she didn't really need me, I said, I don't think this is a great fit for me anymore. I'm trying to cut down on work. So, question. Okay, any discussion with either of the Berkoviches about the publicity around your ex-brother-in-law's murder? No. Question. I mean, they never said at any point like, hey, what's this all about? Or anything like that? Answer. No. Question. Okay. Now you mentioned, well, let me just ask you quickly. Did you ever end up resolving your differences with Dr. Heinecke? Didn't you have to sue him at some point? Answer. Never. I don't know if the lawsuit was ever filed, and I never worked out our differences. I never got paid. Okay. So that I never heard of or saw any sort of lawsuit in regard to that dentist. Okay, so let's see what else. Okay, page 363. Okay, so this deposition actually took all day until after 7 p.m. Okay, then he's asking about how Berkshire was asking for information to decide on his claim. And so, of course, the insurance company has basically also said that Charlie Adelson just did not provide sufficient information, and that's why they denied his claim for disability benefits. Okay, question. My question is this, sir. After April 20th of 2017, did you provide any additional documentation showing the work performed during the period January 1st, 2015 to the present at the dental offices that you told Berkshire about? Answer. I gave them whatever I had. Question. Okay. Well, did you have anything, or did you have to go get it from the dental offices? Answer. I would have to ask the dental office for it, and it would be up to them to give it. Question. And during the claim, did you ask all the dental offices to provide information? Answer. I did. And I had my assistant from my office, my dad's office, I believe, call up and make requests. And I made requests also. Question. You made requests to some and the assistant? Answer. No, I believe my assistant my assistant from my dad's office tried to get some of the information that Guardian was asking, and I know I repeatedly asked these offices for the same information. Question. And so is it fair to say that you weren't able to provide all of the information that Berkshire requested with respect to the documentation showing your work performed and the volume of and your duties at each of these offices? Answer. I can only give them what I have access to. Question. Well, you had access to the information for the Adelson Institute, right? Answer. I could have Erica get it on the computer and do it. Yeah, I'm not a computer person. Question. Right. Answer. But that's not my office either. So the one, what you're asking for, right? So I don't even know. Question. Are you suggesting you had difficulty getting information from the Adelson Institute? Answer. I'm telling you, I'm not the custodian of those charts. Question. I understand that, but your father was the owner of the dental practice at this time, correct? Answer. Right. But do you know what the login information is to get on the computer? Question. I don't. No, sir. Answer. Me neither. Question. All right. Very well. Answer. So that makes two of us. Question. But you could have asked for it, correct? Answer. It's not my office. Question. Okay. So let's see. Okay, page 378. Let's go. We're almost through. Okay, this is about trying to get information from Dr. Federani, who is one of the doctors Charlie saw a little bit more often compared to some of the other doctors. Okay, so in regards to Federani, the attorney is asking him, what did you do? Just put a piece of paper in front of him and say, fill this out? Surely you talked to him about something. Answer. I don't remember how the piece of paper came to him. Question. Okay. Answer. Does he remember how it came to him? Question. We'll find out. You don't remember, as we sit here today, you don't recall asking Dr. Federani to complete an attending physician statement for your disability claims? Answer. I don't remember specifically asking him, but if that was asked of me to ask him to do it, I'm sure I tried to follow through. Question. But you don't have a general or specific recollection as we sit here today? Answer. Of me handing him a piece of paper? I don't remember me handing him a piece of paper. Question. Okay. Answer. I'm not saying he didn't fill it out. I'm just telling you I don't remember handing him a piece of paper. Okay, this is some sort of phone call he had with someone that works for the insurance company. Okay, so let's go down here. Okay, so they were still trying to get information from him for a while, making calls to him. Okay. So let's jump over to page 378. Okay. So asking about dates of treatment and what doctors he saw. Okay, mentioned that he was taking Xanax, also known as alprazolam. Okay. When he listed the average number of hours that he was working each week, he put 72. Okay, so the question is, and you say 72, you say you're working from 8 to 8 and you check every day except Sunday. You see that? Answer. Yeah, but the hours were longer than that. So if you want to correct it, we can correct it now. Question. Now, you intended, I take it, when you filled out this statement to provide complete and accurate information so that your disability claim could be evaluated, correct? Hasselbrock. Objective form. Witness. You're asking for averages, and usually, so not exact times, right? And averages, so it's a guesstimate? Hetherington. My question's unrelated to that. Answer. Oh, okay, sorry. Question. Were you trying to provide complete and accurate information when you filled out this statement? Hasselbrock. Objective form. Witness. You're talking about number 10? Hetherington. I'm talking about the whole statement. Answer. Oh, this whole question. Yeah. Answer. Booklet? Question. Yes. Answer. So was I trying to provide complete and accurate information? Yes, I was. Question. Thank you. That may have been the easiest question I've asked you all day. So you were trying to be accurate on this statement, correct? And that would have been the same for number 10 and every other one on this list, correct? Answer. Right. Question. All right. And number 11, on the next page where you say you're making $85,510 per month, you are trying to be accurate, correct? Hasselbrock, objective form. Witness, trying, yes. Hetherington, how did you determine that number when you filled out this statement? Answer, I think it would have just been an average. Question, an average of what? Where did you go to look at it? Did you average your bank statements out? Did you? Answer, can I look at my calculator for a second? Question, well, you can just describe. Answer, it doesn't matter. Question, for me, we don't need to waste the time. Answer, sure, because that's about if you took 12 months and you divided it by the year, there's 12 months in a year, and divided it out, then that's the number you came out with. Question, okay. Another way of saying it would be if you took that number and multiplied it by 12, you come up with what you were making for a year, right? Answer, you're a mathematician. Okay, so that was interesting. They're talking about CDT codes, information that I guess the insurance company is saying they didn't get enough information. This is almost over. Okay, this is where the attorney is ending things, and he does seem pretty annoyed with Charlie Adelson. Hetherington says, okay, I'm going to suspend this deposition until a later date when we can resolve the publicity issues that you refuse to answer today, as well as to address the pending text issues which have not been provided, and additional areas of inquiry that I will seek additional time to pursue. So with that admonition, I will pass the witness. Hasselbrock, and we object to the continuation of this deposition. I think we've satisfied 7 hours on the record today, and so we will deal with that issue separately. Hetherington, I don't think we're quite at 7 hours. And I would note for the record that much of our time has come as a result of your client choosing to provide very long narrative answers to fairly simple questions, as well as a significant amount of time to review documents and other things, as well as our fighting about the publicity issues. So I would think it's fundamentally unfair to suggest that this deposition should stop at 7 hours, and I will be seeking additional time to depose this witness. But I do thank you, Dr. Adelson, for your time today. And witness, it's my pleasure. Hetherington, appreciate you coming in to talk to us. Witness, it's my pleasure. Okay, so this ended at 7:15 p.m. All right, so that's that. Just hitting the highlights of Charlie Adelson's civil litigation deposition. So let me see. Oh, wow. I'm always surprised to see so many people tuning into these types of things, because I think for most people it would be really boring. But to me, I think it is fascinating, or it's actually kind of strange, isn't it? It's not every day that you have a criminal defendant who is also involved in many, many civil lawsuits, which are also public record and have even more information about the person's life and what kind of things they've been up to and potential witnesses and stuff. So thank you guys for caring about the Dan Markel case and continuing to support this channel. Okay, thank you, Debt Free Dad. Thanks for being there. Please subscribe to Debt Free Dad also. He's an attorney in DC who has also been on some of my live stream shows. Thank you, Dragon Man. Hello, Coco Nuts. Go Georgia. Okay, put the snacks away and come on. Oh, okay, yeah, sorry to be late. It just took so much time to set up stuff in front of my fireplace today and make sure the camera was at the right height and get all the lighting straight. So, okay, Donald Adelson, your time in the sun. Yeah, I mean, I've always been thinking that Donna is the next to be arrested, but we're still waiting. No arrests this year, besides Charlie, so we shall see. But I do feel optimistic about what information Katie Magbanua has been telling the prosecution. And as we heard during the latest hearing, sounds like Georgia Kappelman is expecting more statements from whom? I don't know. Is it from Sigfredo or just more statements from Katie? So we shall see. I'm still feeling pretty optimistic about the case. Hi, guys. Hope the holidays were good for everyone. Charlie is such a piece of work. Yeah, I think the attorney, Hetherington, did a really great job taking his deposition. He really kept poking and prodding at Charlie and asking more follow-up questions. So just reading over the different depositions, I think Hetherington did a slightly better job at taking the depositions compared to the other attorney who's also on the case. It's also really good reading if you're an attorney yourself or you're thinking about going to law school to learn about these deposition tactics, like how do you ask people questions in different ways when they're trying to be squirrely or they're not answering your questions. So, or it's obvious that the person is lying. So how do you rephrase the question and kind of turn things around on them while you still have them under oath? So yeah, I highly recommend The Unveiling, definitely. It's such a great book, and I hope you guys are all supporting Ruth Markel in reading her book or purchasing it. So yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah, Xanax. Yes, wonderful book. Does he get Xanax in jail? That's what I'm not sure of, because there have been some commenters and people who are familiar with the jail system who said that inmates don't get those types of medications. So I have no idea. Yeah, but he definitely doesn't look very healthy. He doesn't look like he's been sleeping well or eating well. Yeah, anxious from all the party drugs mostly. I think he's also anxious because he was afraid of being arrested any moment for years. Really tired of these murderers wasting everyone's time by playing games with what they know. The Markels are not seeing their grandchildren for yet another Christmas. Yeah, it's really pretty tedious and frustrating, especially when you hear these depositions or, you keep hearing more news about, delays or people, yeah, just basically wasting everybody's time, dragging out criminal proceedings. Yeah. So on that note, I can understand why so many people are so disgusted with Katie after wasting so many judicial resources and for years constantly claiming that she's innocent and not providing information about the Adelsons or the whole case until now. No legal Xanax in jail, but that he will deal if opportunity arises. Okay, thank you, Go Georgia. Poor Charlie, you're such a big ball of hot mess. Yeah, Charlie is endlessly slimy. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely been involved in a bazillion lawsuits. I mean, I'm exaggerating, of course, but definitely at least a dozen or so different civil lawsuits. He stated on his jail intake interview form he had no disabilities. Yeah, I saw that on True Lifestyles' video about Charlie's jail intake forms. Yeah. It must be a real sore back on his jailhouse rack. Yeah, I'm sure it's not very comfortable sleeping there. Wasn't Charlie doing cocaine and steroids? Those would put him on edge. LOL. Yeah, that's what a lot of people believe based on those phone calls that were wiretapped. Charlie is not used to a jail bed. He misses his fancy water bed. Yeah, I'm sure he's missing out on a lot of luxuries too. Charlie also admitted in the video taken at the restaurant with Harvey that he let a girl walk on his back and she hurt his back. Yeah, that was somebody in Vietnam, right? So interesting. I wonder how Katie is adjusting to prison life. Yeah, I'm sure she's smiling a lot more, thinking that she might be getting out eventually. That was a big difference with her latest mugshot. Did he mention he paid her to wear stilettos while she walked on his back? Okay. Yeah, I didn't hear anything about stilettos, but I think what he said was there was somebody who gave him a massage in Vietnam, and he wanted the girl to walk on his back, and that's how he really got hurt. Okay, that's what I recall. She's thuggish, ruggish. She's right at home. Okay. Watching any and all updates from holiday. Oh, you're in Mexico. Wow. Well, I hope you enjoy your holiday, but thanks for tuning in. Let's see. Yeah, I'm sure we wish we were on a vacation in someplace warm and nice resort. Yeah, can imagine spending life in prison. Charlie needs steady income. Yeah. Yeah, I do wonder how she and his son are doing now. Yeah. I think in the child support case, the child's mother said she hoped to go to school again to become a paralegal. Okay. No way in hell could I do prison time. I need fresh air. Okay. Okay, interesting. No lobster for Charlie. That's right. Hi, Sandra. Thanks for being here. Okay, yeah, probably don't have time to flash up everybody's comments, but I do appreciate everybody tuning in. Charlie didn't ever expect to be arrested like this and held for murder. Yep. I mean, for so many years, I bet he thought he had gotten away with it, although he was still feeling a lot of anxiety because part of him was still guilty and afraid he was going to get arrested. Yeah. Charlie and his sister refused to tell the truth. So annoying, it's all out there. If we're all feeling and knowing their guilt, the Adelsons have to be feeling our energy. Justice for Dan already. I agree. The Adelsons are wealthy, but this is going on 8 years of retaining attorneys, and that has to be very expensive. Yes, definitely. I mean, to the point where they tried to allegedly rip off one of the criminal defense attorneys of $10,000. I like seeing Charlie all disheveled. Yeah, it's a big change how his looks have really deteriorated in less than a year. Okay. Poor Charlie, he went from rags to riches. I bet he never, or riches to rags, right? I bet he never thought in a million years he would be eating bologna and peanut butter sandwiches and a nice custard on the side. Yeah, do they even have custard in jail? I don't know what kind of desserts they get there, but it seems like people like those honey buns that you can order. Okay. They have thrown away their successes and lives. It's just pure evil what they did to the boy's father. They're just horrible people. Okay. Thinking about the sight of prison food is motivation enough for me to stay out of trouble. I know. Yeah, totally. Can you imagine never being able to eat all your regular, foods that you crave on a regular basis, like not even being able to go out to a restaurant again or order pizza? Yeah. My understanding is there are informants on the streets and inside every street gang, so they can more easily track the hitman activity. Oh, okay. It's not that hard to stay out of prison. Charlie can't do anything right. Charlie gets to poop with guards watching. Okay. Okay, why would you hire gang members? I really blame all of this on Donna. She is a control freak, alienating her older son by meddling in his life, and she did the same for Wendy and those telling emails demonizing Dan. So Charlie didn't make much from the practice. He made all those stacks of cash in his safe as a trunk dentist. Maybe he had some either. Yeah, maybe it was from potentially dealing drugs, right? Because based on those wiretap calls we heard on Fancy Fiction, it sounded like he was sometimes selling marijuana in addition to steroids. And if I recall correctly, one of his ex-girlfriends did say that some dentist would also pay him in cash too. Maybe he had another way to make money as it's not. Okay. If you can remember, everyone, the prosecutor, Georgia, was confident that she's got this with these Adelsons before the proffer from Katie. Oh, okay. Yeah. Hopefully all those prosecutors are doing well and been working really hard in this case. I'm sure there's so many reasons why this would unravel. He could write scripts for painkillers. Yeah. I hope Charlie is able to use his professional dental skills to inmates for them to have nice mouths. Yeah, I don't think it's allowed for inmates to practice medicine or do dental work on the inmates there. But what do I know? I'm just guessing. I'd be surprised if he still has his license. If he hires hitmen, then he wouldn't be below selling drugs or prescriptions. Yeah, that's right. I mean, just based on those wiretap calls we've heard. Oh, St. Freud. Donna encourages the bad boy behavior Charlie exhibits towards women as long as he remains close to his mother. Yeah, it is kind of a really weird relationship, just hearing those phone calls between the mother and son. It was always like she was trying to curry favor with him and just so giddy about talking to her son. The Adelsons are going to implode with karma. Bad boy behavior to almost sadistic. Yes. Never talked about murder. If Charlie grew up in a poor, unstable household, he'd probably be a serial killer locked up long time ago. Yeah. I mean, we're talking about some people who had every privilege in life. But sometimes it just makes the kid like a total spoiled brat, especially if the parents are always making excuses and buying him out of messes. Or maybe he'd be a mechanic in a stable marriage. Well, who knows? Yeah. Okay. I made it live. Greetings, season greetings. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah, everyone. Thank you, Lizzie. Thanks for being here. Charlie, to me, seems like trouble waiting to happen. Yep, looks like a lot of the trouble already happened. Now he's in jail. So, yeah. Hi, Sandra, and hello, Dawn. Thank you for being here. Please subscribe to Dawn's channel also. She's been covering the Markel case, too. With his lack of criminal sophistication, he would be caught the first time. After all, that seems to be the case. Yeah, I mean, they obviously did not plan this as well as they could have. Okay, nice to see everyone today. The clock is ticking for the Markels. These boys will be 13 and 14 in 2023, and they have no input into their lives. Yeah. He'd be a shady mechanic. Yeah. Wonder if Charlie uses Maestro as a password. Yeah, who knows? Yeah. Oh, okay, Dawn. Okay, you weren't able to go live. Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right. Mom probably has Charlie's password. Yeah, Mom is probably handling everything for him now that he's in jail, since he still has his home and, his other accounts and investments. That makes sense about embedded informants. Too deep up yours. I noticed when Lewis testified, he was adamant this was separate from his Latin Kings gig. I was wondering why. Yeah, well, maybe it is true that it had nothing to do with Latin King stuff. It was just a deal struck with Sigfredo and Luis, with Katie as the go-between. And the gang had nothing to do with it, perhaps. Yeah. Hi, Tony. Thanks for being here also. I'm confident that law enforcement has had that password for years. Yeah. Well, he did say earlier on in his deposition that he didn't even own a computer. Not sure if that's true. I mean, how many people don't have at least a laptop computer, especially if you're like a white-collar professional? Yeah. Can we read into Andrew Gillum's case? Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. I haven't gotten into a lot of other criminal cases, so that's something else to read up on. Yeah. Okay, where Tilo gets her name. It's funny. Okay, so that's another case to look into. Thank you for the information. Lewis strikes me as an amateur hitman. His execution of the crime was awkward. Yeah, well, he swore up and down that he had never been involved in any other murder. He said during his police interview that he has beaten up people before and stolen things, but he has never killed anybody before. They were drunk and high. Yep, exactly. If you want to do a good job, do not be drunk and high and meeting up with other third parties who can identify you when you're trying to execute somebody. Jeez. Oh, Charlie with his smart remarks. Yeah, he seemed like smart alecky during parts of his deposition. The way he talked was sort of like the way Wendy behaved during her deposition, in my opinion. So Katie was annoyed with their stupidity. Yes. Chuck, there are so many reasons why they would never get away with this amateur hour for sure. Okay. Yeah. Hi, Helen. Thanks for being here also. How nice. You have a lovely fire. Is it cold there? I don't think it's considered cold compared to a lot of people further up north, but it's probably, I don't know, it's probably about 30-something degrees now here in North Carolina. Yeah. They were drunk and high. Merry Christmas. Very high. The tax accountant's depot, where he revealed Harvey set up a trust anticipating that the entire family would be going to prison. Yeah, I'm not sure if that was you or somebody else that suggested that I also do short videos just highlighting certain things that were said during their CPA's deposition. So that's definitely something that I'll eventually get around to doing, since it looks like we're having a dry spell with no news in the Markel case for the next couple of months. So that's a good idea, because obviously most people don't have the time or the desire to sit through 3 to 5 hours of a deposition reading. So, okay. Yeah, I keep hoping we'll wake up to big news. Same here. So, but it's just like, well, we've already waited 8.5 years for some justice. So, we'll just have some faith in the justice system and all the work that the prosecutors and investigators are doing behind the scenes. They barely did any recon. Gee, I wonder if someone was feeding them info on Dan. Yes, correct. Most families would shun a son who treated women badly. Why was Charlie's behavior toward women tolerated? Yeah, especially with his sister doing work in the human rights field, supposedly, helping women who had been trafficked. But yet, he was supposedly bragging about going on these tours to other third world countries and doing all sorts of unsavory things. Wonder about his parents' dynamics. Yeah, that's what I'm not sure about. I think some commenters said that Harvey was kind of more quiet and in the background, while Donna was the one that ran things. Confession of, or at least conscience of guilt of the entire Adelson's family. Which statement was consciousness of guilt? Sorry, I'm trying to catch up. Some people's kids can do no wrong in their eyes. That's correct. I see that sometimes in my own real life relationships. I think about Ruth every day. Her book was good. I can't imagine how this must feel to her. Yeah, I mean, it's just like kind of surreal that this would happen to people. When crime happens to you and your family, it's kind of like totally something you can't believe happened. It seems more like something that you would watch on TV, like a, what do you call it, like a Dateline special about somebody else, but not your own family. So, yeah. So thank you, Tilo. Thanks for being here. Hope you had a great Christmas. Oh, no. Okay. Hope you feel better soon. He hasn't even gone to prison, which will be worse where he currently is. Yes. Sorry you got the flu. Let's see. I'm so over Meg Banua. Yeah, she's definitely, absolutely infuriating when you see her being cross-examined or speaking on the stand during her last trial. But at the very least, she is, doing a Hail Mary and trying to be a state's witness now. When Charlie and Harvey's tax accountant said in his depot for one of these insurance lawsuits for Charlie, testified that Harvey had met with him to set up a family trust and asked the accountant to be he wanted the accountant to be the trustee. Yeah. So he also said something about how like their attorney had told them that they could all be arrested, something to that effect. And Charlie was afraid that he was going to get arrested when he and his CPA were out to dinner. Oh man, that would kill me. The flu is no joke. Yeah, sorry about that. Just got here. Thanks, Kathleen. Thanks for re-listenability. You're precious to me. Thank you. Oh, that's very nice to hear. Yeah, I mean, definitely I know I need to improve on my speaking ability, and definitely I probably shouldn't be drinking this dehydrating tea, but yeah, I'm learning as I go along to try to improve on these live stream shows. But I think one thing that I've improved on is trying to make my background seem a little jazzier, right? So instead of just like a blank wall or a wall with a diploma, we now have flowers. We have real live flowers here, and we have a real fire going on in the background for extra visual effect. So, okay. Okay, coming off those steroids can cause rapid weight gain. Yeah, he is not having all the privileges and things that he had before he got thrown in jail. Why does it take so long to get justice? Why is the evil woman not locked up? Well, once again, it's because it's just so slow. In a way, I would like to think it's also the prosecution's strategy to get them one by one. to hopefully see who's going to turn against the other people. So it could be that. Yeah. And of course, people are saying it was also because of Willie Meggs, who wanted to protect the Adelsons or didn't want to go after the Adelsons back when he was in charge, but he is now retired. Happy evening from Delray Beach, Florida. Thank you for tuning in. So he's basically admitting that the whole family is expecting, or at the time expected, that they were all going to prison. Yeah, so they were probably all like total anxiety ridden and freaking out on some level, worrying that they could get arrested and they better hurry up and figure out what they're going to do with their assets and make sure somebody else is in charge. Okay. Okay, let me scroll down a little bit. Why would he expect that Wendy was going to prison if she supposedly is completely innocent, or himself or Donna? Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that included Wendy. I mean, I think the CPA just said the family. So does the family include Wendy, or could Harvey had only been talking about himself and Donna and Charlie? Because the CPA was the CPA for, I believe, Harvey, Donna, and Charlie. I'm not sure if he was really the CPA for Wendy also, but I'm not sure. So family must be feeling the pressure. Yes. Oh, okay. So you're in Nebraska. Okay. It's great to see so many people from other states and other countries that care about the Dan Markel case. Yeah, I feel frustrated waiting so long for justice since 2014. Yeah, exactly. But isn't it great that finally something is happening with the case? Or, at least we got 3 people who have been put in prison. So I think Harvey set up the trust or was discussing it with the accountant sometime before 2019, maybe after Katie was arrested in 2016 to 2017. Yeah, that matches with my recollection also. Yeah, but like I said, eventually I'll do a shorter video just focusing on some of the highlights of the CPA's depot. Okay, thank you for being here from the Netherlands. Wow. Okay. Charlie probably thought it was going to be easy, make the claim, money rolls in. Yeah, exactly, because there was that phone call he had with Donna back in, I think, spring of 2016, where he was talking about how he already had a plan. He was already slowing down his work. He wanted to enjoy life. Just think about this one friend who's dying of cancer and only has a few months to live. You got to live your life, enjoy your time. You don't know how much time you have left to live. And so he's ready to enjoy his life soon, and he's going to be winding things down because he already has his plan. Yeah. So it does seem to me that having this disability insurance policy, or actually he had multiple disability insurance policies. That was his part of his master plan, to have easy money and retire at an early age. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Donna emails, shocking. Yes. Stinky Q-Tip says he was flipping pounds of weed. I have no problem with that, but I'm not a medical professional either. Yeah. I mean, that was from at least one of the wiretap calls between him and Katie, talking about meeting up to divide up, was it 15 pounds of marijuana or something to that effect. Donna and Wendy are named, so in that sense, they have something and a measure of confidence. Yeah. Okay. Lacoste had Donna pegged. The emails just proved it. Yeah, I mean, the whole family, their hobby was hating Danny. That's what I recall Lacoste saying in one of the police interviews. I'm enjoying wonderful weather in Ecuador. Oh, okay. Well, thanks for tuning in from Ecuador. I have learned what enmeshed families are because of this case. Oh, joy and yuck. Yeah. Yeah, I really feel like some licensed psychologist or a psychiatrist should also do some sort of YouTube show or video with their analysis of this case. Like everything else, he underestimated. He's painfully inaccurate about everything, it seems. Yeah, I mean, he just, throughout his deposition, Charlie just seemed to want to waffle around and act like he didn't do anything wrong. He can't remember this or that. Yeah, just being all vague and stuff. Every privilege with a big exception of morality and normal values. Yeah, it sure seems like it. Okay. Hi, Pam. Thanks for being here also. David says, do you think a motion for change of venue should have been filed from the defense? I just don't get these hypocritical people with their bashing comments. Let the judicial system play its role. Yeah, well, this is what I recall hearing from some of the attorneys that are in Florida. It might be from Surviving the Survivor or Mentor Lawyers' recent videos, but it sounds like they still have to try to seat a jury first in Leon County. And then perhaps if they really can't seat a jury of impartial people, then, perhaps the venue could be changed. But I think it's unlikely because from people who are actually in the area in Florida, there are a lot of people or commenters who say most of their friends and their colleagues and people around them in Florida don't even know much about the case or don't even know about the case. So, I mean, it is okay for people to be on a jury if they have heard about the case, but if they don't seem to have any particular deep bias, then they can still potentially be on the jury. So you don't need to find, say, like 12 people who have never heard a thing about the Markel case in order to have a jury. Yeah. So, let's see. Today I rewatched Professor Lacasse's interview with the police, and holy cow, he's got a lot of insight. Go back and watch it. Yeah, actually, earlier today I was listening to his testimony from the first trial. Yeah, but I've definitely read the police interviews, and just really am glad that he was willing to tell everything he knew, and he was very forthcoming with information, and he even purposely went back to talk with the police just to make sure that everything he said was correct. So that's really a good thing. Yeah, he's a treasure, that Jeffrey. Okay, thank you, Fancy Fiction. Thanks for being here. Hello, happy holidays. Thanks, Judy. Okay, thanks, everybody. And please support Fancy Fiction's YouTube channel. She also has a Patreon now, too. So there's a lot more information if you join the Patreon. Okay, Jeff would be great for the boys. Yeah, but unfortunately, he already has no relationship with Wendy anymore for obvious reasons. Yeah, so pretty sad that the boys also lost their relationship with Jeffrey, who had, according to what I read, it seemed like Jeffrey had already had a good relationship with the kids and was spending a lot of time helping to take care of them before they suddenly moved away with their mom after Dan was killed. Okay. So, hi, Fancy Fiction. It had nothing to do with the Latin Kings. I was wondering why that seemed important to him. Yeah, well, I think he wanted to clarify because you could tell Lewis was getting kind of annoyed with DeCoste's questioning because DeCoste just liked to kind of railroad people with questions even when the person said no or didn't agree with him. But he liked to just keep kind of repeating it over and over again, whatever story he wanted to get into the jurors' minds, like, wouldn't you agree with me that blah, blah, and don't you agree with this, blah, blah, and don't you agree, like he wouldn't even stop to let the jury kind of digest what the person's answer was, especially if the answer was not what he wanted. So I think that's why Lewis pointed out that this has nothing to do with the Latin Kings, because he was annoyed with the line of questioning from Christopher DeCoste. Yeah. Hi, Teresa. Thanks for being here. Let's see. Okay. Lucy says, thank you, Judy, for keeping this case alive to get justice, and all those like Mentor Lawyer, Surviving the Survivor, and others. Yeah. I mean, it's great to be on YouTube and find other people and other channels that are also interested in the Markel case. And we really want to get justice for Dan and his family. I don't know which disability lawsuit it was where the tax accountant testified. Yeah, it was in this same lawsuit, the Berkshire lawsuit. So yeah, I'll definitely be doing a future live stream or a short video highlighting certain parts of that. Yeah. I think Katie looks happy with no responsibility of children, one with special needs, horrible mother, either way. Yeah, so I think it was from what maybe Tara Kawas had mentioned somewhere that one child, the son, might have needed some sort of therapy. So I think he might be on the spectrum. And then the daughter had a speech impediment, so also needed some sort of special therapy. So that's what I recall. And I'm pretty sure it was Kawas who mentioned it somewhere. Yeah, but it didn't seem like Katie was really happy taking care of the kids and having all these parental responsibilities, based on, again, on those undercover wiretaps that we heard on Fancy Fiction's YouTube channel. It sounded like Katie wanted to go out and party and be with, go out to the club and ditch her kids and dump the kids off with Sigfredo. And then we also heard from Lewis's interview that sometimes even Sigfredo would just dump his kids off with his roommate who had just gotten out of prison. And they didn't even know the roommate for that long. But Sigfredo would abandon the kids with that guy, Himano. I think that was the roommate's name. So neither one of them were going to win any Parents of the Year awards. Yeah, hi, Lynn. Thank you for being here. They were a thorn in her side like Casey Anthony. Yeah. Oh, okay. Thank you, Dawn. Love the backdrop. So pretty. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Judy, for keeping this case alive. Yeah. And the other channels I'd like to draw attention to, I mentioned that Dawn has a channel that she's growing, and she's been talking a lot about the Markel case also. So please subscribe to her, as well as True Lifestyles. So True Lifestyles has a lot of information about Charlie and Katie's jail life and jail records, jail phone calls. So also a great channel. And I can't remember if there are other newer channels out there, but those are the main ones that have really been covering the Markel case. So that would be Mentor Lawyer's Deep Dive True Crime. He also has another channel called, what is it, Crime and Justice with Mentor Lawyer, Surviving the Survivor, Fancy Fiction, True Lifestyles, and Don DeQuisto. Yeah, so thank you guys. Okay, thank you. I'm glad you like the background. Okay, just right for the holiday season. The accountant is going to pay the attorney's fees out of the trust. Well, potentially. I mean, although I guess right now, Charlie's parents are still not, they're still free, so they could be the ones paying the attorney's fees themselves right now. Okay, thank you, Ope, for being here. Hi, everyone. Wendy should have stayed in Tallahassee. She would end up having no family in Miami when all her family are jailed for life. Yeah, so we shall see. Yeah, I'm not as, I'm not so sure if Harvey would get arrested. I mean, we still would need to, the prosecution would still need to have evidence that Charlie actually did something proactively to help plan the murder of Dan Markel. So, just knowing that other people are plotting his murder is not enough to get him charged with a crime, as far as I know. So who knows if someone like Harvey will eventually be charged or arrested. But the state has named Wendy and Donna as co-conspirators so far. Okay. Nothing worse than man boobs. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty funny. There's nothing wrong with your live stream. You speak beautifully. Oh, thank you. I'm trying to improve. Okay. I shouldn't say that, though, commenting on others' appearance, but he's so guilty of doing that to others, so it seems like fair game. That's right. Yeah, wasn't he commenting about some friend's wife who had gained weight? So he was talking about how like her thighs were thicker or something. It was just really rude. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. Thanks, Sunny M, for your super sticker. Appreciate your support. Well said, OP. I don't feel guilty about it at all. LOL. Jeffrey said Dan had a new girlfriend and was calming down under lawyer's advice. Yeah, Dan definitely seemed to be pretty happy with his life. He accepted that they had gotten divorced, and he was dating somebody else at the time that he was murdered. And in fact, he was going to be going to New York to see her the day that weekend. But unfortunately, he was killed on Friday. Judy, your attention to this case is awesome for the Markels. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Elizabeth. I appreciate the support. How did you get interested in the Markel case? Yeah, I'm sure everybody has their own story. Like how did we all hear about the Markel case, and what has driven us to reading up and listening to so much about the case? Okay, yeah, thank you, Kathleen. You have a real fire. I've had to watch YouTube crackling fire videos. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, it's one of those, what do you call it? Those like automatic gas fireplaces. Yeah, so I don't have to go out and chop wood or buy wood and dispose of ashes and stuff. Yeah. Okay, thanks for the response and Merry Christmas. Yeah, thank you. Okay. David, good point. The system has a way to deal with change of venue if it's needed, but they need to play it out. Yeah. Let's see. That's Sublime. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't believe so many people are actually on this live. So thank you guys. Thank you, Kathleen. For some reason, while listening to the accountant, I thought he said that Harvey said all of the family, so they needed a trust because there would be no Adelsons left to give POA to access their money. Yeah, that from memory. Yeah, Harvey allegedly did tell the CPA that they were all, according to the lawyer, they could all get arrested. So that's why they needed to set up trusts, and they wanted the CPA, Mr. Shapiro, to be the trustee. I actually considered Donna the mother of darkness. She must be at least shaking in her boots, yes, and having a lot of anxiety and bowel problems. Yeah, hi, Marvina. Thank you for being here, and thanks for always commenting and being supportive. Dan would be great for the boys. Ruth would be great for the boys. Wow, so dang sad to think of. Yeah. So, well, there's still hope. I mean, hopefully the kids will have more of a relationship even as they get older with their Markel relatives. You couldn't say it better. Makes sense. Thanks. Lewis is smart. Harvest their organs. Okay. Thank you, Jen, for being out there. Okay. Haha, Jen. Hello. And what did I miss? Okay. They all have to be living a stressed existence. Dawn still thinks it's very funny when people ridicule JL. Oh, I don't think so. I don't know. I mean, Dawn, do you want to answer that? Yeah, I don't think many people have been ridiculing Jeffrey Lacasse at all. I mean, there might have been like a couple of commenters from some old videos, but I think the vast majority of people are glad that Jeffrey Lacasse has been willing to say what he has to say about the case and has been very helpful toward the investigation. As a Latin king, a kill is a kill. Get street cred, at least. If you're going down, get them to support you in jail. Okay. I still think Meg Banua believed she would win the prize of Charlie in the end. Yeah, who knows? I mean, maybe there was a part of her that was still attracted to him and was thinking that, you know, he might be with her in the future. I don't know. I mean, he sure made it clear to other people that he had great disdain for single mothers, you know, any older women with children. You know, he thought that was like the worst thing in the world. Those boys will always be marked to me. They're very bloodline. Okay. Oh, you mean Markel? Yeah, maybe Kathleen means Markel. Yeah, sorry. Okay, wasn't enough the Jeffrey Lacasse interview to arrest Wendy. He incriminated her. Well, I would have to go through it more line by line, but I think a lot of it pointed to suspicious behavior. Yeah, which, you know, Wendy could probably explain away a lot of things, or just, you know, it wasn't like direct evidence. So, I mean, it definitely, to most of us, it makes it look like she definitely was complicit or knew about the murder. So, but I don't think Jeffrey's word alone would have been enough to secure a conviction. Yeah. So you check out Dawn's channels for content taking shots at Jeffrey Lacasse. It's hilarious to make fun of crime victims. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I don't recall Dawn making fun of, yeah, Dawn is saying, excuse me. Yeah. Okay. Oh, thank you, Tony. Thanks for your support. I appreciate that. Let's see, Mentor Lawyer is very, very supportive. This is a lovely community. Yes, yeah, it's great to see other people that are out there who have also been putting a lot of time into drawing attention to the Markel case. Yeah, Harvey and his photoshopping is not someone I want my boys to be influenced by. Yeah, that was kind of weird. Don, you have an admirer. That family should have purchased legal insurance. Is that a thing? Yeah, but I actually do some work for a legal plan through MetLife Insurance, and I don't think they would cover something like this, like defense for a murder case. And Yeah, I mean, and also it wouldn't cover civil litigation defense if it had to do with someone's business. So there are certainly all sorts of exclusions because they don't want to be on the hook, especially if someone is constantly involved in litigation. Yeah. But there are some cases potentially that maybe Charlie had, for example, malpractice insurance that would have defended him if he got sued for malpractice, or maybe some other type of insurance policy if he got sued for something else. It all depends on the type of the case and what kind of insurance coverage there is. Okay, I think I've been criticized for not being hard enough on people, trying to keep an open mind. Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen, Dawn is mainly showcasing Wendy's police interview the day that Dan was shot. So I didn't notice the Jeffrey Lacoste stuff. So, but I have to admit, I haven't had time to watch 100% of everything, but I think Dawn does have respect for Lacoste and all the witnesses. Yeah, I enjoy your videos. Okay. Hi, Stella Bella. It's nice to see you again. Merry Christmas and happy holidays. Last time there was a change of venue from the Second Circuit was years ago for the trial of Ted Bundy. Yeah, it's very rare to get a change of venue. Okay, can't control what others say. Okay. Okay, not here. We love Jeff. Just saying how lovely this community is, but we are all passionate, so it's okay. Wendy was very threatened by Dan's new girlfriend, Amy. Yes, and I feel so sorry for her also, because it seems like their relationship was just beginning, and he was planning on visiting her that weekend. So yeah, so awful for so many people who knew Dan. Yeah. So, okay, thank you, Sunny. Smash the like button to help this channel grow. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's pretty amazing how Surviving the Survivor now has probably, over 13,000 subscribers in such a short period of time. So it's pretty cool because they've been covering a lot of the Markel case, as well as getting some great guests to discuss all the different angles of the Idaho college student murder. So that's another big murder mystery out there. So, yeah, so there are definitely some channels that grow a lot faster than others. Yeah. I love Jeffrey. Nothing like dating a therapist who can diagnose. Okay. Jeffrey is a star. Okay. Thank you, Teresa. Hi, Fancy, but why? Jeff said she cheated a lot. I love how obvious it is, too. Okay. Thanks for this live. Flowers in the fireplace look really beautiful. Yeah. Thank you. I'm still baffled at their choice an attorney, not a bigwig defense attorney. Yeah, maybe they couldn't afford the bigwig. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure Rashbaum also charges an arm and a leg, and he also has to keep either driving or flying all the way up to Tallahassee for these hearings too. And based on True Lifestyles videos, it looks like Rashbaum is at Charlie's beck and call. He even got calls from Charlie on Thanksgiving and on weekends and at night at all hours after 10 p.m. So I hope the Adelsons are really paying him a lot of good money for all that time and stress. Yeah. Jeff, good value entertainment. Okay. I have shared Lewis's and Lacoste's interviews too. Okay, great. That's great. Like and subscribe. 10,000 on the way. I don't know. I think I need to start covering other hot cases that are in the news in order to get more subscribers. But, this is the case that I'm personally very drawn to. Yeah. Thank you, Stella. Amy was very accomplished and ruled with very prominent people. I've heard from reliable sources this is true. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. She has a famous brother who's an interior designer, and she taught at some of the most prestigious law schools in the whole country. Yes. So definitely feel really sad for her also. Jeffrey Lacoste could save the life of Danny Markel with just a phone call to the police. Sadly, he didn't. Yeah. I mean, but looking back, it's like, well, when Wendy allegedly told him 5 days before Dan's murder that Charlie had looked into hiring a hitman, she supposedly said that was back in 2013, so a year prior. So I could totally understand Jeff not taking it seriously because he's I think he said that Wendy would often just be just talking randomly and saying a bunch of stuff, and at times he wasn't really sure if she was telling the truth or not. So I'm not sure what Jeff really could have done to save Dan's life. I mean, maybe talk to him directly and tell him he better make sure he has security or something. But he definitely did seem to look very, very regretful when he was on the stand talking about Dan's murder. Yeah. Let's see. Please like and subscribe, share with your friends. Yeah, thank you. Amy was the one who got the Markels, their top-notch lawyers, to take care of the case pro bono. Yeah, I mean, somehow, isn't one of the lawyers someone who is a student of Amy's, like a former student, something like that? So that was great that she used her connections to help out the Markel family. Yeah, and I hope she's doing okay these days. Yeah. That wasn't a realistic scenario. Thanks for the interesting info. Markels have the best attorneys, as Fancy Fiction mentioned, was reading about them on David Lott's blog. Yes, yeah. These are like legal superstars who don't have time to do YouTube channels, right? Okay, people close to Wendy said this regarding Wendy being threatened by Amy Adler. Yeah, because didn't Wendy just meet Amy for the first time, like maybe a couple of weeks or so before Dan was murdered? Something to that effect. Yeah, I'm sure it did maybe hurt her ego to have someone who was had a really remarkable career, legal hotshot superstar, with a famous family member, now dating her ex-husband. The family thought they were the greatest thing since Cracker Jacks. They are the best. Yeah. Wendy is not honest in any way. Of course, she cheated on Lacasse. I bet she cheated on Dan. Yeah, I'm not sure, but it sounded like she started seeing some friend right after the separation, at least. I think that Charlie and Katie are friends with benefits. Yeah, that's, I think that's what Carm also said on Surviving the Survivor. That was kind of funny to hear her say that, like, oh, maybe they're just friends with benefits. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even Katie or somebody said that Katie didn't view the relationship as being like any sort of long-lasting, long-term relationship. Yeah, they were just, having fun, using each other, basically. Yeah. Amy does interesting work on art law. Okay. Amy Adler has accomplished, if not more than Dan Markel. Yes. And that's another thing. Like somebody has mentioned this too, that I mean, why was there a need to kill off Dan? Because if he was just starting up this serious relationship with someone that lived in New York and he traveled to New York often to take part in legal symposiums or something to do with the legal academy up at NYU. So, maybe over time he would have just wanted to move away to New York. And then Wendy could have gotten what she wanted, which is to be able to take the kids and move them down to South Florida. So, was it really necessary to murder Dan Markel? Like perhaps there should have been more patience on the side of the Adelsons just to wait and see how life turned out. You don't have to kill the person. He may have just voluntarily moved away. We don't know. Anyway, just another idea to throw out there. Okay, yes, Fancy Fiction. Yes, she definitely has her sources, a lot of knowledge on the case. Yeah, so thank you for sharing your knowledge with us. Now in jail is more difficult. Love your sources. Yes, yeah, I definitely looked them up, looked up the lawyers quite a while ago. Let's see, so many people and lives were destroyed by Dan's murder. Yes, and it was just terrible. It's like, why murder somebody? Like you could have, there were so many other options, much less becoming a criminal or being thrown in prison. Yeah. Appreciate you. It's okay. Some people just see what they want to see. Sad, I see his point, but it's not the way to fix anything. Just trolling. Okay. You have integrity. Setting up a police sting, same as Dahlia Dippolito, not that easy to organize. Police did the best they could. Yeah, that was an interesting case too. I'm interested in insurance companies that pay defense costs, such as Deb Heard. Don't know how that works. Yeah, I mean, it just really depends on what kind of insurance you have, because I have been involved in some litigation cases where it turned out the person's homeowner's insurance actually covered the person's defense and also paid for a settlement. So, yeah, you just never know. But in general, I think most people should live their lives assuming that if you get sued, you are going to have to pay your own settlement and pay your own attorney's fees. Yeah. But, you know, I'm almost certain that homeowners insurance is not going to defend or cover criminal defense cases where the person is accused of murder. Yeah. And as far as I know, most of these insurance policies do not cover proactive litigation where, for example, like in Charlie's disability insurance benefits case, I'm sure there's no insurance from his side paying for his attorney. Okay. The best attorney is Jose Baez, the best across the nation. Okay. Well, he sure got off Casey Anthony. Yeah. Stands to reason Wendy would be threatened by her as she was threatened by Dan, her own husband. I agree, David. Why didn't they get him? He probably said no. Probably threatened by Ruth's accomplishments, too. Yes, she is definitely very well accomplished. So now she has written and published 10 books. And she had her own stellar career before she became more widely known to people as Dan Markel's mother. Yeah. Okay. I love Carm. Yes. We wish her the best. Hope that Joel and Carm and their families are all doing well. Found your channel through Mentor Lawyer. Thanks for going through Charlie's deposition. You're welcome. Thank you, Blue Neptune. Yeah, it's probably why she tried to write a book. I was thinking that too. What a pathetic existence. Charlie said they're best friends. Yes, that's right. I remember that from the wiretap phone call where he called Katie his best friend. If Dan went to New York, he could have gotten split custody. Yeah, I mean, there are different ways people do it. Even if the kids are in a traditional school calendar, like the kids could spend summer with one parent and the holidays, with the other parent. I mean, there are ways that a lot of divorced parents work it out without killing off the other person. Yeah. There was more reason to kill Dan than logistics. Donna needed those boys. She needed to win. Yeah, that's right. She seemed like totally psycho and overly fixated on having control over her kids as well as the grandkids. Okay. Surprised you don't get it. Okay. Not sure what that refers to. Dan had the negatives on that crime family. Yeah, he definitely got to know at least some of them well. Yeah. Probably I wonder what all he observed and knew and whether he shared anything with F and F. Okay. Yes, Jen, that's the motive in my opinion. Dan was a threat to all of them. Thank you for that info. I guess we can insure everything. Well, almost. Yeah, not everything. Yeah. Hi, Ultra Testosterone. Thank you for being here also. When is Adelson going to trial? So right now, the opening statements are supposed to begin on April 28th with the witnesses being called on May 1st. But I still suspect that the case is going to be postponed because it's just so complex and there's a lot of evidence and depositions and we don't know what the result of Katie's proffer is going to be. So I just have a suspicion it's not time to buy plane tickets to Tallahassee yet. But so far the judge said opening statements are to begin on April 28th. And there's supposed to be another case management hearing sometime later in February. The word supervised visitation sealed the deal in Donna's mind. That's right. Because she wanted control of those kids. She acted like those grandkids were hers, and she had more rights to them than Dan did. Baez never loses. He probably wouldn't take the case because he believed they are guilty. Yeah, it could be. Or who knows, maybe he knew Dan Markel or knew people who knew Dan. Okay, hi, True Lifestyles. Hi, everybody. So I was just marketing your channel also, so please subscribe to True Lifestyles for a lot of interesting Markel information and info about jail conditions for Charlie Adelson and Katie. Yeah. Okay, so everyone's saying hi to True Lifestyles. Okay, we should probably wrap this up soon. I thought right along that Donna and Wendy were jealous when Danny met someone that really liked him and was good to him. Them two women look like a fool compared to this new girl. Okay. Yeah. Well, I think, where was it that Wendy supposedly wrote something about how her mom thought that she, meaning Donna, was stupid. Yeah, like my mom always thought she's stupid, even though she won her 6th grade spelling bee or something to that effect. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, who knows how academically successful Donna was, but she seemed to like to live through her children. Hi, Judy. Thank you. I'll be listening. Last of the guest just left. Okay. Thank you, Skeeter Girl. Thank you for listening while you cleaned the kitchen. Yeah. Hope you guys all had a great Christmas or Hanukkah or any other holidays that people out there celebrate. Okay, so looks like we'll wrap this up soon. Yeah, Donna has diarrhea. Yeah, that's right. Charlie said that his mom was up until 2 a.m. with severe diarrhea after the bump. So disgusting. Okay, I enjoyed your sharing your family film with us. Okay, thank you for enjoying that. Yeah, my niece watched it and she was like, how did Aunt Judy even have time to make this video? And I said, well, back then, before everybody, was stressed out with work and kids, we had a lot more free time. So there wasn't much to do here in North Carolina. So that's why I made a documentary film 20 years ago about my cousin and street hockey. Yeah. Judy, do you expect the state to put motions forward on Katie's credibility or alleged immunity deals? Well, that's what I'm not really sure. Yeah. Probably, because I guess it's all part of streamlining the trial. So they don't want to be constantly disrupted during the trial with the defense objecting to this and objecting to that. So it does make sense to have motions heard before, before the actual trial starts. Yeah, so I can see that there are probably going to be a lot of evidentiary things that the judge has to rule on first. Just to keep the trial flowing and not lasting for 2 months. Yeah, so I would expect that. Okay, thank you, Sharon. Thanks for being here. Let's see, leftovers are the best. Okay, yeah. Did that ex-girlfriend slip on Adelson yet? Oh, okay, which ex-girlfriend? He has so many. Oh, you mean Katie? Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, that's the big news that we've been all excited about for the last month or so, was that Katie was going to make a proffer and tell all to the prosecutors and the investigators. So I would assume that she has already flipped on him, but it seems like that information is going to be sealed. So we, the public, are not going to be able to hear anything about what Katie said until it actually comes out at trial, if there is a trial, I guess. There's always a chance that there may not be a trial. Never know. Let's see, road trip. Okay, that should be fun. Donna left her job to take care of the books at the dental practice. Interesting. Yeah, she was a kindergarten teacher? I think she was a kindergarten teacher very briefly before she became a, domestic coordinator. Okay, when she was on the Wheel of Fortune. I'm really a domestic coordinator. I take care of my 3 lovely children. Something like that. So, let's see. I'll see Katie on the return trip and tell her all about it. Okay, great. Diarrhea of the mouth. Merry Christmas. Thank you, Gino. Wait, I just caught up and see the comment about Jeff Lacoste. I commented about his statement that he would still be with her at that point in March 2015 if she hadn't ended it. I said that's scary. Well, I don't think so. I mean, by the time he had his 2nd or 3rd police interview, it seemed like he was totally over her because he was finally out from under the spell and he could look more objectively at the way that he believed he had been manipulated by her and all the weird things that had happened. So I don't think that he would still want to be with her in 2015. Where can we watch the movie? Oh, it's just like a 18-minute documentary that I decided to put up on this YouTube channel. I think it's called Raleigh Street Hockey documentary Old Men in Yellow, because that was the name of my cousin's street hockey team. So the group has actually changed its name. So it's now known as the Raleigh, what's it called? Raleigh Ball Hockey League. But anyway, if anybody is in the area and very interested in playing street hockey, it's now called ball hockey. So yeah, but it's on my channel now as a video. It was nice to spend time with everyone. Made my day, not feeling well. Oh, have a lovely evening. Oh, thanks, Judy. You're the best. Thank you, Don. Okay, yeah, Flip. I know that's what you meant, Flip. Judge wants this to be less than 3 weeks, 1 to 2. Yeah, I would definitely say 3 weeks, because I think the prosecution said just even doing Katie's case in 2 weeks was just really rushed. So 3 weeks sounds good. It's better for the court to reserve too much time than not enough time when they're doing all their scheduling. So yeah, I hope Dawn feels better, as well as Tony out there with the flu. Yeah, Dawn didn't ridicule him at all. I just SMH that he said that he would still be with her despite what he knows. No, I think, yeah, maybe he said that at the first interview, I think, but definitely, Jeff, later on with his police interviews, it seemed like he really had seen the way that he had been manipulated and mistreated. So we don't know what she had said. So much anxiety about. Okay, I'm sure she will flip. Yep, exactly. Okay. Oh, okay, she got a life sentence. Yeah, Katie got a life sentence. Love. We're waiting patiently. She has no loyalty to him anymore. That's correct. I mean, she saw she's going to wind up in prison for life. So she had to finally look out for her own interests. Adelsons are from Brooklyn. Yes. Blessings on your well-being, Dawn. Doesn't take it away. He was a big help to the case. Yeah, that's right. At least he wasn't so mesmerized that he wouldn't even come out and tell the law enforcement what he had actually seen and heard. Okay, thanks, Lizzie. In his third interview, he said that, though. Okay. Whatever Meg Benoit says needs to be corroborated. I think the decision to kill Dan came about when he took action to have Wendy disbarred. Yeah, that she was afraid that she could lose her law license, and then also potentially Donna could no longer have unbridled access to the kids. Okay. One thing that made me reason maybe Dan too could be nasty, this taking her livelihood away as a single mother. Nevertheless, murder is another level. Yeah, but okay, you're not the only one. It's a valid point. Okay. Yes, the street hockey was funny. Okay, thank you, Sharon. Okay, yeah, totally off topic. Yeah, I mean, I can't cover Markel stuff 100% of the time. I'm kind of running out of ideas now. So, need to focus on some other topics as well as other legal topics. Okay, hi, Brown and Beachy. Wendy's police interview is what made the return for Jeff. Yeah, because he did say on the stand that he had actually watched her police interview also. Yeah, he was probably so appalled, couldn't believe it when he saw the interview. Probably because she wanted to take his kids away. I don't see how it can be 3, should be 4. Okay. Okay, thank you, John. Thanks for appreciating this channel. Okay, Happy New Year, Sunny. Okay. Wendy's police interview is what made the turn for Jeff. Yeah, it could have been, and also talking more to his friends. Yeah, because I think talking to the friends later on after Dan's murder made him start seeing some more things in a different light. Do you think Charlie will ever flip on his sister and mother after he is convicted for life? I don't know. But on the other hand, I don't know if the prosecutors would really give him such a great deal anyway, because it seemed like he was one of the main instigators of the murder conspiracy anyway. So yeah, who knows? I don't know. I mean, I don't see him flipping on his mom. Yeah, he seemed to be way too enmeshed with his mother, and who else is going to love him and support him while he's there, spending the rest of his years in prison potentially. Okay, Jeffrey did say some things in that third interview. I'll go over it on my channel. It's interesting. He was smitten. Okay, great. Okay, thank you for that info. Yeah. Well, by the time he testified in 2019, he did not seem smitten at all. Yeah. Okay, JPJ says, yes, he was whipped. Okay. Patience. Jeffrey had it bad for Wendy. Okay, I thought it was his last interview. In that case, it's understandable. Okay, so we'll watch Dawn's channel later when she focuses more on that. Are you covering the Murdaugh case down in South Carolina? That's a crazy case. Yeah, I've definitely read up on that, and I did do a live stream show with Tony a few months ago, I think. Yeah, so we did talk about the Murdaugh case, but yeah, but that case just doesn't sound as riveting to me as the Markel case for some reason. Yeah. But definitely a lot of crookedness and shady lawyering type things going on with that situation. Okay, I'm from Brooklyn too. I can swear I knew Donna back in the day. Okay, yeah, interesting. Okay, why doesn't this show up? Isom didn't fault him for not speaking up. They discussed this. Okay, other good cases are the OnlyFans model who killed her boyfriend in Miami and the cop who shot the guy in Grand Rapids. Okay, yeah, I know about the OnlyFans case, but I haven't heard about a cop shooting someone in Grand Rapids. Okay, yeah, just too many cases going on. I'm still trying to keep up with that Ohio student case, and then maybe the Gabby Petito's parents' lawsuit against Brian Laundrie's parents. That might be another topic. That chick that faked her. Oh, yeah, the Sherry Papini case. Yeah, reminds me of a younger Donna. Okay, could be. Oh, yeah. Okay, Sherry Papini. Yeah, not Panini. Okay. Okay, I think wish I could speed read. Okay, I don't think I really speed read, but I've definitely read over these depositions way too many times and listened to it over and over again to try to pick out the most interesting parts. Yeah, Sherry Papini, that was just totally insane. So what, it turned out that she was actually having an affair with another man that time when she disappeared, right? Okay, Sherry Papini. I've heard red flag laws are being abused daily, people having people picked up and evaluated for being crazy. Oh, I haven't heard about that being abused. I mean, in North Carolina, we do have, a way that people can be involuntarily committed, and it's usually up to a magistrate judge to decide if there should be some sort of involuntary commitment order. Okay, Chuck should sacrifice his parents. They're not long for this world anyway. Nah, I don't think he would turn against his parents. I mean, they basically enabled him throughout his whole life to do all these things that he's gotten away with, in my opinion. Okay, I'm interested in Murdaugh case and the Daybell trial, but Daybell WB audio only might be a blessing. Okay. Yeah, I've looked into the Daybell trial also. It's just so horrible how some people can behave and think that they can get away with certain things against family members. Yeah. OnlyFans trial in a year from now, I'm going over her interrogation. Okay, that should be interesting too. Yeah, scary stuff. So many crimes to select. Yeah, exactly. There's just like too many crimes going on in the whole United States that I can't even keep track of all of it. Yeah. Oh, okay, great New York accent. Okay, well, I'm not from New York. I'm from Georgia, so I was just trying. Was the legal system always this slow? It seems super slow with years and years for cases. Well, it also just has to do with how long it takes to fully investigate a case and amass enough evidence where the prosecution feels like it's good enough to take to trial. So, and in this case, there were just so many things that slowed down the case and took a long time to gather evidence. And then all the wiretapping of Charlie, doing the bump, trying to see if Sigfredo or Lewis would turn against each other or if Katie would turn against someone. And finally she has. That was like the biggest news in the case recently. Yeah. Okay, gotta go. Thanks so much. Have a fab evening. Okay, I'm trying to wrap this up. Yeah. Okay. Thank you guys, and hope you enjoy the week. On Thursday, we are going to resume more regular legal profession topics because Bill Wong, who is a first-year law student at University of Pennsylvania Law School, is going to be my special guest. And he actually lives not too far away, also in the Triangle area. So he's going to come to my office and be interviewed again about his tips on succeeding your first semester in law school and how to get into law school. So I'm not sure how many people are really interested in that kind of stuff, but I do try to cover other legal topics. Okay, hearing the hypocritical comments again. Condolences to the Dan Markel family. Y'all talk about Dan like he didn't have a sin in life. Has anyone asked how is Dan behind? Yeah, well, I definitely have heard some comments from people. There was a commenter on one of the Surviving the Survivor videos a few weeks ago, and the person sounded like maybe he was a law student when Dan was teaching at FSU, and he was talking about how Dan was a real jerk, or there are reasons why people didn't like him, or he shouldn't have been killed, but he was very unlikable. But the person didn't give any further details as to what did Dan do against him that made him feel that way. Yeah. So so maybe he was mean, maybe he was arrogant, but he definitely did have a very large group of friends and family who also loved him. And those are things that we covered when Remy and I read Memories of Dan Markel in October on what would have been his 50th birthday. So sure, I mean, I guess there are some people out there that are saying that they heard that Dan was a real jerk and very arrogant and pompous, but on the other hand, what's the point of making a video about, here are some quotes from people who knew Dan Markel and thought he was a jerk, because nobody's saying that he deserved to be killed, though. So, yeah. So, okay, yeah, time to get supper. Okay, you're gonna make lunch soon. Okay, they have status conference after status conference with appeal and Akil. Yeah. So, yeah, every case is different, though. So there are some cases that are going to take a lot longer than others, especially in this case where there are so many documents and wiretaps and multiple witnesses, different conspirators. Yeah. Okay. Okay, great. Yeah, I'm so sorry, but I think I better get going. Time is ticking down. So hope you guys all have a great week, and please try to tune in on Thursday afternoon when I interview the law student from UPenn, though. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day.